What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rest Hold Podcast. This is episode 56, brought to you as always by your boy Tanner Fred and me, Zach Foreman. Tanner, say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody? Coming off the hottest event of the summer. Pretty good this year.
Actually, the hottest event of the summer.
Solid. Very solid.
Lived up to the hype.
It did. Did a good job. Well, there wasn't much hype, so.
Yeah.
Exceeded the hype.
Yeah. Last week's episode, I was sitting here saying the matches are going to be good. The storyline sucked. And what happened? Matches were real good.
The storylines weren't even that bad, honestly.
No, they made it work.
Yeah,
Their little vignettes tied it all together.
Brief outside the ring?
Yeah. Let's do
Briefly.
that. Yeah.
Seems like a lot of people want to come back to WWE now with Triple H in charge.
Just to touch on Raw, so jumping ahead of SummerSlam, how could you not want to come back when Ciampa, his first real week with Triple H being in charge, is getting a United States title shot?
Yeah.
Not only that, he wrestled AJ Styles.
Yeah, and who else? He was with
beat
Miz
Dolph
and
Miz. Yeah, it was Dolph and Miz.
Right.
And then beats AJ Styles.
And even not even that, but like look at who was the other? It was Ali was the other one, and who was the last person?
No, it was Miz with Ali.
I know, I'm just saying, like, who were the six? I know there's one more.
No, so Miz was with Ali and AJ.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but, like, who were the six in the tournament?
Ciampa, Dolph, and...
Don't remember.
Drawing a blank here.
Yeah,
but
it was somebody good.
But he showcased.
Not even that. That's now 6 guys you just put on TV.
Yeah.
In a meaningful way.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. That's a lot more than you can say for a lot of the previous Raws.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Apparently, all is well. The relationship has been mended. The bridge is rebuilt. And Sasha is coming home.
Apparently, Sasha and Naomi are coming back. That's what word on the street is.
They said they could have been back as early as Raw.
Yeah.
And Raw has come and gone, but nothing stopping them from coming to SmackDown.
Nope.
Or next week.
Nope.
The tide is turning.
It is. Next week's Raw, Cleveland, Ohio. Home to Johnny Gargano.
Who, conveniently, Ciampa makes a statement, the door was never closed for Johnny.
Which I think is true.
No,
I think it's definitely true.
It was absolutely true. But he still wants to wrestle. He loves wrestling.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Dude, you got to be kicking yourself if you're like Adam Cole, right?
Yes and no. Because, one, you can't read the future like that.
You can't.
It's not like it was the writing on the wall kind of thing.
You're just like an out-of-shape, barely on TV mid-carder.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing with Adam Cole.
He's with your friends.
You're with your friends. But the thing is, like, that's what you picked. It wasn't like Vince is like, we're going to bring you up. And he offered you $1 million.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like, this is just some guy we're pulling up. Like, you went to SmackDown and sat down with Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
So, like, would it have been that much better under Triple H? Probably not. It's not like you're walking in with Triple H now and beating Roman Reigns. Like, that's not what's going to happen.
Okay, but again, first week for Ciampa. He was a nobody.
I know what you're saying, but Ciampa was on Weekly Raw.
Yeah.
It's not like Ciampa was sitting in the back and they're like, now he's number one contender. Mm-hmm. Like, he wasn't being used in the same way Triple H is probably going to use him. But he was on TV every week.
What does this mean for Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley? What does this mean for The Fiend, Bray Wyatt? What does this mean for, I don't even know, Chris Jericho?
Jericho, I don't think it changes much.
Probably not, because the situation's not going to change. Jericho and like H are more contemporaries, I think.
And I don't think Jericho would have been used that differently if it was H or Vince. It's going to be kind of the same kind of thing. It's going to be it's going to be like Edge, basically. It's like kind of, hey, what do you want to do? Mm-hmm. But someone like Bray, someone like Mox.
There's rumblings of Cross coming back.
I know he wants to come back. I know Maria Kanellis wants to come back. Like, a lot of people are like, I'll come back now. Or I would love to come back now. We'll see.
And if they could they could make Sasha come back, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Because that was just the most sour of grapes a month ago.
And to even back it up a little bit and not even use Ciampa as the example, let's talk about SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Opening match.
Let's do it.
First of all, I think this was Becky and Bianca's worst match of the collective feud they've had.
And it was unfair because I judged it super harshly right away.
But Becky did get hurt. I don't know how early she got hurt.
Yeah.
But I still think it was... Maybe you could blame the shoulder. That's fine.
Yeah.
It still just felt a little off. Something felt off, and it probably was because she was in pain. But like you could see certain spots they just weren't connecting, which is very uncommon for them.
Which again, probably because you're hurt.
You're hurt, 100%. Which brings us to the post match, which let's just say I'm very happy for the usage of the athlete formerly known as Io Shirai, now Io Sky, and Dakota Kai.
So, another re-sign.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Not even, one, the re-sign. Two, like, Io hasn't done anything in 8 months. Now she's on SummerSlam. Like, that's Triple H in charge for 2 weeks.
Not only is she on SummerSlam, she hitched her horse to the biggest return in the women's division.
Yep.
Like, Bayley is a fan favorite. People have been clamoring for her to come back.
Yep.
She's back, and who does she debut with? One person who was fired. Came back, re-signed out of nowhere, which is awesome.
Quietly, too. The quietest signing.
Yeah. Awesome. And Io. Like, a fan favorite from NXT who kind of was sitting in quiet, lying in wait. And
did you hear Bayley curse?
No.
On Sunday. They were, like, face-to-face. Dropped a little F-bomb, then muted out. Pretty
Nice.
funny. But this was bizarre. This was a bizarre way to debut them.
Bayley is going to be champion.
I think sooner rather than later.
100%. And it's not Bianca's fault, but Bianca has been given nothing to work with.
True.
And sometimes that's just what happens.
Yeah.
Like,
and why I say bizarre, I don't mean like with Bayley or in this fashion, but like literally the way it happened was very weird.
Yeah.
If anything, I would expect like have them like jump over the barricade or something and like surround the ring. But to have them just like come down the ramp was kind of weird. It was just like it just felt very like forced.
You have a giant stadium. It was the football stadium, by the way.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I think that was the problem. I think because the ramp was too big.
I think that's why they did it, though. They want everyone to see. Like, Bayley's back. What is
Bayley, I get it.
Yeah.
The other two made no sense to me.
Right.
Have them come out of the crowd.
The crowd
that
goes
makes
miles.
more sense.
Yeah.
And not that they're bad, but like if
you
you don't know them, you don't know them.
Right.
So like
most people's interaction with Dakota Kai of main roster viewers is that they heard she got cut.
Yeah.
Like we read the cuts, Dakota Kai.
Yeah. And Io is like, yeah, she was champion down there once.
Yeah. But they'll know now.
Yeah.
They're
both
now.
very good. So.
And partnered with Bayley.
Can't beat that.
You can't beat it.
Nope.
I think it's going to... I mean, staying outside the ring for one more second before we dive into full SummerSlam recap. There's a groundbreaking episode of AEW, right?
Which will be happened already by the time you watch this.
Right. So as of
Wednesday,
August 3rd,
Wednesday
it's another groundbreaking, paradigm-shifting statement episode of AEW. Every time WWE does something right, there's a statement episode of AEW.
Yep.
Nothing's going to happen.
Nope.
Nobody worth note is going to debut.
Nope.
They're just going to try and scalp and poach viewers to come watch. I'm not falling for it again.
No.
I'll read tomorrow.
I'll read Bleacher tonight.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is this is like the sign that they're heading in the right direction.
Yes.
Like Bleacher calls it the best Raw in a year.
Maybe years. Yeah, maybe years.
They're doing something right. And it's too soon to tell, obviously, but coming off a strong SummerSlam card, coming off a strong Raw.
Trending in the right direction.
Even the build into SummerSlam, which was terrible, they tied it in real nice on SmackDown.
Nicely. Yeah, they did.
That last SmackDown was awesome.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But moving forward, no September pay-per-view, it seems.
No August pay-per-view. September 3rd.
No August.
Yeah, it's September.
What's September 3rd?
Clash of the Castle.
I thought that was October.
No.
Am I wrong on this?
Yeah, it's
so what's October?
I don't know.
Any
Saudi,
idea?
maybe?
Maybe. All right.
I think.
Let's find out.
But, real quick, while we're looking up these pay-per-views, I would be remiss if I didn't mention what a freaking match Drew McIntyre and Sheamus had on SmackDown.
Those guys always deliver.
Because we're getting into the SummerSlam recap, but this match would have stolen the show at SummerSlam. Yeah.
There's nothing right now.
No October. There's still September, but there's no October.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. September 3rd.
Or maybe just like, I mean, everything else is on here, right?
Maybe. Boy, I wonder.
It's a long time.
Wonder if it's going to be Saudi. Maybe
I feel like they would have announced that by now, though, no?
Yeah, probably.
You would think.
Yeah, I don't know. switch up the search to October pay-per-view. See if they have anything.
Stream Rules, Philadelphia.
Oh, there you go.
There it is.
Perfect.
All right.
So yeah, Drew and Sheamus tore it up, and then WWE with the ultimate what could go wrong at SummerSlam, they have Brock and Drew face off. Like the ultimate callback to Drew becoming champion, to let's do it again, let's run it back. And honestly, there was never a doubt that Roman was going to win. But then it's Brock. Mm-hmm. And they do that little, the story makes sense.
Drew,
maybe Brock wins.
It's possible.
But,
it's possible. But no.
So let's get into SummerSlam.
We talked about the women's a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Good that they're kind of filling out their roster.
Mm-hmm.
Good now also, I think it's tougher now to bring up Toxic, in my opinion, because they're kind of the same thing.
Well, Raw needs one and SmackDown needs one.
Yeah,
but you're right that it's
a lot harder now.
Yeah.
But good time to have a new faction.
Yeah.
And have Sasha and Naomi come back with the belts.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's ever a time to do it, now's not too bad. Maybe bring up another women's team from NXT and kind of fill out a tag division again, because we're moving towards that.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to do something with that, because there's too many women just not doing anything.
Yeah.
Other than that, the Raw Women's Championship match we said was okay. Unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, but it
wasn't bad.
You don't save it necessarily by the return, but that's what people are talking about.
Yeah. Becky, full face now.
Yeah.
Which is good. Good for her overall.
Yeah.
Kind of. Not that she was getting stale, but there was too many heels.
She was getting stale.
But I think it was because there's too many heels. It's hard to... Who's the other... there's no other faces on Raw that matter.
I don't know, but it just was getting stale.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was after that? I guess it doesn't really matter what order we go in.
No,
but Pat and Corbin.
Was it Miz and Logan that early?
Might have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. It was Miz and Logan.
So let's talk that.
Okay.
Because this could have been match of the night.
This is a damn good match.
This could have been match of the night.
Logan's good, man. He's an athletic guy. He's good. We've been saying this since Mania.
He's legit.
Yeah.
And he just had Triple H on his podcast.
Yeah.
And he was just saying how being in WWE makes sense for him.
Yeah.
They pay well.
They pay well.
Right.
Obviously.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. They do.
But he's been a character for so long.
But that's it.
Yeah.
You get to just showcase yourself. And that's what he said. He's like, I just get to be me.
Yeah.
That is a character. Okay.
Yeah, it works.
True.
It works.
You're the Miz.
Did you see the thing with Triple H where they were talking about his first thoughts when Jake Paul's older brother is coming to WWE?
No.
Triple H goes, my first thoughts, honestly, he goes, who the F is that?
Nice.
Yeah, it's funny.
What
it was
a
good.
legend.
Yeah. But that was cool. It's good crossover. It's good. It's just good.
Dude,
press for them.
You're hitting fans that you wouldn't have touched in years.
Yeah.
Because the new generation, they're not necessarily growing up on wrestling we did. You're not growing up on Monday.
There's so much more content now.
I need to watch Mondays and Fridays. That's not necessarily true anymore. Mm-hmm. But Logan Paul being there, guys, check out Raw, check out SmackDown Mondays and Fridays, check out SummerSlam. It's okay.
Yeah.
This guy I follow.
And people his podcast does super well. His podcast is one of the most watched podcasts on YouTube.
Isn't he doing millies?
Yeah, he's definitely in the millions, 100%.
Yeah. So
it's just good exposure.
Every time a million people hear WWE, if 1% of people tune in, the additional followers you're getting, are you serious?
Yeah, no, it's great.
Insane.
It's great.
Insane.
But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that match was awesome.
Spot of the night.
Your spot of the night.
It's very close. It's a 1A and 1B.
I don't think so, but okay. But your spot of the night.
Yeah, Logan Paul's frog splash was sick.
It was good. It was a very good frog splash.
And to tie it up by ending the match with the skull-crushing finale was awesome.
That was good. And just hats off to the Miz.
Yeah.
For
you want to get somebody over, you call the Miz.
You call one of three people.
Yeah.
Dolph.
Yep.
Miz.
Yep.
Sami Zayn.
And the only reason,
those are the three.
And the only reason Miz works more is because Miz works every day.
Yeah.
So when you call Dolph in, it works because Dolph will sell for you, and he could tell a story with anyone. But when Dolph's getting called in, what he's doing.
At
least the Miz, you never know.
Never know, because he's still on weekly TV. And also, it's kind of made more sense for the megastar, social media.
A-lister.
That feud made a lot more sense. But those are the three guys you call when you need a job done.
Yeah.
And they do it. They do it well. So Sami hasn't been on TV in a while, right? I know he was kind of the third Uso for a little bit, but I haven't seen him in a while. Yeah.
All right. With that, let's jump into your spot of the night.
Oh, man. This might have been spot of the year.
Bobby Lashley versus Austin
I'm going to be honest.
Theory.
This might have been spot of the year. First of all, underwhelming match, but not bad.
I think that they needed to speed it up. I think that they were the ones that took a hit.
Yeah.
Because they were like, okay, we're going to have a long last man standing match. And it did run long. Yeah. This was the one that had to speed up.
I agree. But Austin Theory doing his little roll drop kick thing and him rolling into a military press is one of the most absurd things I've ever seen in my entire life.
And the thing is, like, I'm not saying that it's easy, right? Because I get that the jump and, like, carrying the momentum over your head, it helps and makes it a little easier.
You're catching a 225-pound man.
A grown man from jumping to permanently still
that's the thing, too.
His
he
head.
didn't, like, almost drop. No, he stuck him
he
right there.
He stopped the momentum.
Crazy.
He didn't struggle in the slightest.
Unbelievable.
But to even doubt that Bobby's the strongest guy in WWE now is absurd. Because Brock is strong. Brock's a freak athlete.
Different
Brock's
kind of
not doing that.
Yeah, no.
Like, he might, but I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Bobby Lashley's insane.
It's a different kind of strength. Yeah.
He's insane, man. Yeah. And I'm very, very happy he won. Yeah. I'm hopeful now that this can turn into a meaningful run for him because the top of the card's cluttered, which we'll touch on a little bit later.
There's a lot going on up there.
But Bobby's the perfect guy to fill the mid card.
Yeah, absolutely. Him and Gunther being used the way Triple H will use him will be very good.
Yeah, and
very good. I
mean, that Survivor Series match. Whew. If they get there,
oh man,
talk about the chops,
that's
the
gonna
physicality.
That's gonna be a sick match.
Oof.
Yeah,
I can't wait. Now that I never thought of it.
Didn't think about it
just now, but
Survivor Series is a bit of a mess that we'll talk about in about a month because we'll see what happens at about 2 months because we got a little while.
They got to split the belts, but
the problem is it's not just one belt; it's both.
Yeah,
so
that's a future problem.
Yeah,
but yeah, Bobby wins.
Bob wins. Good match.
Is it
solid?
And I don't think any damage is done to Theory.
Nah, because I've always said this. Like, Money in the Bank, like, you're kind of just a slime ball. That's kind of like what your bit is now.
Right.
Like, no matter what. So.
And you could sell it to me any which way. Like, he got caught in the hurt lock. He tapped out because he knew he was going to try and cash in.
Yeah, tapped out immediately. Whatever.
Tapped out immediately. Sure. And then he did try to cash in. Whatever.
Yeah, he got smoked.
Yeah. So, good for Bob.
Yeah. Pat and Baron Corbin. Happy Corbin. My apologies.
Was there a funnier spot in the night than when he landed his backflip off the turnbuckle and just got a drop kick?
That was awesome. I'm so happy they did that.
Someone's got to do that.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
And Corbin's the perfect guy for that.
Yeah. Because everyone else, they let him do it. He lands. He showcases.
Yeah, Corbin's like, nah.
Yeah. But then Corbin does his little slide out of the ring and tries to come back in. And Pat scouts it out.
Well scouted.
They're making Pat like he's a legend.
This is
good.
Game. Pat is very good to have as like your big pay-per-views. Like have him with a meaning. And the thing is too, it like. You could say what you will about like the Theory feud, like it was kind of forced, but like it was also kind of that was more like external stuff. Mm-hmm. This like was a legitimate story.
Yeah,
like this wasn't just like we want Pat on SummerSlam, like
bum-ass
the Colts
Corbin,
thing, and like there was a legitimate story there that was like solid for them. And I mean, Pat's good in the ring. Guy's an athlete.
And Baron Corbin again underappreciated, probably by most wrestling fans.
Yeah,
we sing his praises all the time. But you make Pat McAfee have a quality SummerSlam match. Yeah. And I know Pat has wrestled other guys like Theory, Cole, and every time he's good. Yeah. But to have match after match show up, the guy wrestling with him has to be good too.
Yeah.
And that's big. Like Corbin is very good.
Like we said, kind of what we were praising Miz and those guys for, like they're not just gonna put you with anyone.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna know it's somebody that they know they can trust. And Corbin's one of those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, that match was pretty good. Like
not a minute of it was like, let's skip this.
And you know what? What's very good about like lately WWE's been, and it's been Logan Paul, it's been Pat McAfee, it's been Bad Bunny.
They're getting people that want to perform.
Not even that. They don't feel like celebrity matches.
Yeah.
Sure, it doesn't feel like a main event match, but it doesn't feel like the old celebrity matches that they used to have, where it's just like somebody was thrown in the ring.
It wasn't Jackass.
Exactly.
Which was its own thing.
Which was great, which is fantastic, but it wasn't a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Where these three, again, while I think Cole even said it, while not like a technical showcase, it's a good match.
It's fun.
It's a fun match.
And that's what you want out of your celebrities. And Logan Paul maybe even a little bit more so than Pat McAfee, which sounds crazy, right? Because Pat McAfee, the professional athlete. But Logan Paul is an incredible athlete, apparently. Like he's, by all accounts...
I think he was a college wrestler.
I know he wrestled. I don't know if he was a college wrestler.
I know he wrestled in high school at least.
But
like state wrestler.
But he's
boxer.
Yeah,
And,
he's showing up.
Yeah.
So
guy's an athlete. Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like, it's the guys. They're getting people that want to do it.
Yeah, like other celebrities back in the past, maybe like, let's get a paycheck, let's do a segment, let's promote something.
Yeah.
These guys, what does Logan Paul have to promote?
Yeah.
Really, like
other than like that, his drink prime, nothing.
But that's promoting on his million views.
Yeah,
podcast
exactly.
Too, so like, he doesn't need to do this.
And I think it's not even people that care about WWE, because there's a lot of people that had in the past that love WWE.
Yeah.
But people that want to wrestle.
Yeah.
I think that's where the difference is now. They're getting people that want to put in the effort to have a good match, to wrestle. So that's cool. Yeah.
Okay. Second women's.
Yeah. Disappointing.
It's the right move.
Weird that they're suspending Ronda. She must have something going on.
Yeah.
That she has to take time off for. But where do we go now? Is Charlotte back?
Someone's got to come out tomorrow, or Friday rather, because they got to move on. They got to get the next.
Well, yeah, you have a month, so someone's gonna be set up for her at Clash.
Yeah.
So Charlotte maybe.
If Charlotte comes back, there's no way Liv wins. I'm just saying. Because then they're gonna get to Bayley.
It depends.
And Charlotte at Survivor
When is Clash?
Series. September
5th, 4th.
3rd.
We could sneak Ronda in that last Friday, get a triple threat out of it,
and then Charlotte could lose. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I think they need to move on.
I agree.
Because now they did the history made by Liv Morgan, the first woman to break out of the armbar and pin Ronda twice. Like,
she didn't break out of the. Oh, she did break out of the armbar.
3 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So they're doing that. So you got to move on.
Yeah. Who else is available over there? Gia Lee.
Maybe Lacey is healthy.
Lacey Evans.
Maybe. She
Raquel
seems
Rodriguez.
to be like healthy, not healthy, healthy, not healthy.
Yeah.
Over and over again. So I don't know.
Maybe Nikki. That's kind of been a thing in the past, you know.
Maybe Bliss.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff to choose from.
Maybe push Asuka just over to SmackDown now.
Yeah, except for they're kind of mixed up over here right now.
Yeah, but then she's got to lose.
You got Zelina. You got Carmella. You got people available. You can find someone.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. I just don't. I just hope it's not Ronda. Got to move on from Ronda.
I mean, she's suspended for 30 days, so they're gonna have to find something in the meantime.
I know the 30-day suspension, whatever, but
they're gonna have to find something.
Yeah.
So, but that match is okay. A little weird.
The 2 worst matches on the card were the women's championships.
Yes.
You know, you give an excuse to Becky and Bianca because Becky's hurt,
yeah.
but the low point of the card was Ronda and Liv.
It was. Which stinks because I like Liv. I think Liv is good.
Yeah, but that was the low point of the card.
I don't know.
But with that said, that being the low point of the card, it wasn't the worst match of all time.
No, it wasn't.
So
it wasn't that bad.
It was a good card.
It was
still.
okay.
Yeah.
I just think the problem is like watching the match back. Like the entire time, I'm like, Liv has no shot.
Yeah.
Like she has no shot.
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem. Like I understand your champion is your underdog. Like that's the story you're telling right now.
Right.
But like you have to make her believable if she can at least have a shot to win.
Pull it out at the end.
Yeah.
Because then when she comes back and they do run it back, because I'm sure.
Because now I'm not buying it that she's winning. Because she was getting cooked that whole match. She had no chance. But yeah, that was other than that for that match, it was okay.
What we got? The tag.
The tags, yes, the Usos.
We the ones.
Street Profits.
All right.
Another classic out of these two.
So Jeff Jarrett served 0 purpose.
Right? Yeah, no reason to be there.
They did a great job on Friday of making me think that Jeff Jarrett would matter because they had the little in-ring session. The Usos accidentally super kicked Jeff Jarrett. And Jeff
Almost
Jarrett's,
happens again in the match. A little callback.
Yeah. But man.
This is good. This is very good.
I'm going to sound like the most bitter fan, right?
Sure.
Like,
let's hear it.
We've seen them go so many times already.
Yeah.
That this wasn't even like their top 3 matches.
No, this definitely wasn't one of their best, but it's still a very, very good match.
But it's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And more and more they are pushing this split. It's going to happen.
Yes.
Because right after SummerSlam, we get Raw. Raw happens. Montez comes out, gets a solo match against Seth.
Yep.
Which with some witty mic work. Talking about Cody with one titty. Like, very funny. But you're showcasing Montez.
Yes, you are.
And, like, you know that Montez doesn't have to beat Seth to
showcase that he's good.
To showcase. And that's exactly what they did.
Yep.
They tell, well, I'm not going to get into what Seth was talking about, but they showcase that, and, like, Dawkins accepting that, too. Like, and Dawkins saying to reporters like, "Oh, it was only a matter of time before Montez is champion. Like he's just got it," which is fine. Like you can recognize your boy has that it factor, but they got
very rarely does WWE let people have single runs while they're part of especially a tag team.
Right. It happened with the New Day.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And the New Day was a little bit different because the New Day kind of firebirded anyway.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So they were never really just like, oh, these two are the tag team. This is the singles guy.
3 people make it different.
Yeah. Because even like, but I see what you're saying, but like at the same time, you couldn't really do that with the Shield. No. Because Dean was the singles guy.
Yeah.
And the other two were the tag team. So like it would have been very tough to try to kind of change that dynamic.
Put on Roman then.
Exactly. Yeah. So. But again, this is, fantastic match. Mm-hmm. Jeff Jarrett is actually a pretty good ref.
Jeff Jarrett's...
He's a pretty good ref, like all things considered.
Yeah.
He did a good job.
He was good. Yeah. Well, he's been around the business for
so long. Forever. Yeah. And Michael Cole dropping a little thing. It might have went overlooked by a lot of people. Recognizing the Usos as the greatest tag team of all time.
I heard it. And I've been saying it now.
It's getting harder and harder to argue.
There's not an active tag team that's better.
No.
Not in any of your wrestling industry or companies.
No. Absolutely
you can't. Don't even think about talking to me about the Young Bucks.
The only one I would make the case for, and even make the case for, and I still would say no, is probably FTR. They're damn good when they go.
They're not better than the Usos.
I don't think they're better than the Usos, but I'm saying that's the one I would entertain a conversation about.
The funny thing is, the one I would entertain the conversation about would have been the New Day.
Yeah.
And now they're not either.
Yeah.
And that's, just, I don't know, Big E was...
Circumstance, a lot of stuff going on. Yeah.
But
yeah, it's definitely, Usos are number one in the world.
And then, historically now, man, you look at it, this run, again, incredible. Being part of Roman's story helps a lot. This over a year.
A little over a year,
370
right?
or something.
Yeah. Getting there.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. It's getting harder and harder to say no.
So you have the classics, right? You got like the Dudleys and the Hardys, and it's like, Edge and Christian.
You can't put Edge and Christian in the same category. So Edge and Christian is just
because like they've had the classic matches.
They were just with them in the feud. But it's Dudleys and Hardys are the two. It's getting harder and harder.
It's real hard to say.
Yeah. When you look at purely tag teams and not like full factions, it's getting a lot harder.
You maybe get hit with a little recency bias, but it's not that crazy.
The thing is, like, they've been around for at least 10 years, right? It was been around for
a decade
a while.
now, yeah.
And they've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
So.
I'm all in on the Usos.
Yeah, they're at least top 3.
I'm all in on the Bloodline.
You don't even want to put them. The minimum I would let you even say is top 5. They have to be top 5.
No, the minimum I would say is top 3.
You think so?
Because the only two historically that I'm going to entertain like that would be the Dudleys and the Hardys. I know that you have
New Day.
the Hardys.
You have to entertain the New Day.
Well, not over the Usos, I don't think. Not anymore.
Okay.
Then you get the Hart Foundation, like a lot of classic greats.
Yeah.
A lot of classic greats. But not the Usos.
Not the way, as long as they've been doing it. Yeah.
NWO,
NWO was a faction.
No, but I'm saying you had the outsiders like Hall and Nash.
But like when you really look at like the tag teams of it.
And I'm not saying that anyone is better, but to think that like you're not even crazy for saying like the Usos are above all them. Like,
no, you're not. And I think that's the right answer too. I think they are.
Yeah.
Are they like a better faction? Probably not.
The Bloodline as a whole is probably the best faction of at least the last decade.
Easily the last decade.
They've surpassed the Shield.
No.
Yeah.
No shot.
Yeah.
No shot.
Yeah.
No.
You don't think so?
Are the Shield the last decade?
Maybe just outside of it.
No, they definitely are. They are. They were like 29, WrestleMania 29.
Yeah.
I think they're still putting the Shield above them. I am. I know what you're saying, but when you look at what they've done as a faction,
so it's very different.
They're very different.
Very different. I think. And I can't even say that because during the Shield, I enjoyed the Shield.
The Shield were so good
Yeah.
for longer than people realize too.
That's you know what? That would be a fun thing to go through though, just like comparing the two because I know Roman's obviously carrying the Bloodline right now, and like the Usos, carried the Bloodline for a while, and then the Usos got more involved. But something to look at.
I just think, and it's funny because I want to say like, the Shield was more dominant. But when you look at it like side by side, were they?
No, because the thing is that, and we complained about this before, but the Usos will lose every singles match like leading
and then win
in
the tag match.
and then win the tag match.
I think what's funny is like it's weird how you look at dominance about it because like the Bloodline dominates their feuds
and they're holding the titles.
But the problem is when you look at the Shield, it's like, oh yeah, they were beating
they beat the whole
roster in a singles match. Like that's where it's like, what do you consider the dominance of it? It was very, very different. But
now that we've gone totally off track, let's wrap up SummerSlam.
Yeah, Brock and Roman,
the main event of the evening.
Yeah.
And I know everyone's seen the viral clip.
Yeah, what the hell was this? This match was nuts.
Did you see the mic catch? The viral mic catch.
That was insane.
You can't tell me that Roman's just a different species right now.
He's a different breed.
He's operating on another level. Like, it's the little
greatness
thing.
on another level.
It really is. And it's so funny because that has nothing to do with Roman.
Nothing to do with Roman.
Pure luck. Brock,
100% luck.
Brock could have thrown that a centimeter off and he doesn't catch it.
Yep.
But it just works.
But the fact that it
perfect.
did happen,
it just goes to like the allure of the tribal chief. Like
that's like the thing when like something happens like in like sports. It's like you can't say like God or whatever doesn't love sport. It's stuff like that. It's like it's just it doesn't mean anything.
It means
but
nothing.
But it happened.
And I remember watching it and I said, where'd the mic go? Because like I didn't even interpret that he caught it.
Yeah.
And then after the fact he just picks it up. I'm like, no freaking way.
Yeah.
And it was so perfect, dude. And I don't care that it was predictable that Brock jumped off the top there. That's an awesome way to start the match.
It's so predictable.
But it's an awesome
it was a sick way to start the match. Yeah, it's the only way you could have started the match like that.
This was the match we needed at Mania.
Yeah, it was.
This was
what we needed.
Awesome.
Yeah, this was really good.
This was the perfect way to end Brock and Roman for good.
And what a way to like make Brock look strong as hell.
Oh yeah.
You just can't keep him down.
No,
you can't keep him down.
Bury him to win.
Literally have to bury him.
And I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite because I know I've like complained about the burial spots before.
Sure.
Like, how many chairs do you need? How many this? How many that? But having Roman stand on top of him, it's an awesome way to.
I think this one worked because it wasn't like their first. It was like, oh, we got to bury. It was like we've tried everything else. Like we need to make sure he stays down now. So it wasn't just like, oh, let's do the thing with the chair.
Yeah.
Like
That's
whatever. It's like
spear,
belt, chair, briefcase. Like they went through the list and it's like, all right, we got to keep this guy down. So that was good.
And they crushed Theory. Awesome.
Yeah, it's just
we called that, didn't we?
Yeah,
He'll come out. It won't work.
He'll get cooked. Yeah.
Crushed.
Yeah. This is good though.
Awesome match.
This is definitely what we needed at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean SummerSlam. Final thoughts? What are you ranking this?
I think it's like an 8.5.
That's what I said.
I think 8.5 is solid.
That's a really good pay-per-view.
So especially like in today's like WWE, it's a very, very good pay-per-view. It's hard to get a 10 or even a 9 for that matter.
And I mean, even sitting here now 5 days later, to still say it's an 8.5 after the excitement of watching it. And, like,
it goes away. Like
that's a good.
They're definitely turning a corner and trending in the right direction.
Very hopeful. Yeah. Very hopeful for the future of E.
Yeah, of E.
Of E.
So we'll see what happens moving forward.
And then just real quick to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins.
Rollins.
Opening Raw.
Yes.
Talking about now bringing my attention to Roman Reigns. Obviously, interrupted by Montez after that. But boy.
There's a problem with this.
Is there?
We're not getting it until earliest October.
Okay.
That's the absolute earliest because it's already true. It is true.
It is true. So are you telling me that he just wins? We just know he wins because we're building to Seth?
He definitely wins.
Well, I know
Drew's not beating him.
I know that, but are you telling me on Raw that he's doing
The only
that?
reason I think Drew has a shot
Is if they're going to split up.
No, is because it's in London. That is the only reason. If this was anywhere else, I wouldn't even be entertaining Drew winning.
I actually think the opposite. Do you think the nuclear heat that Roman could get as the champion that comes into your home country and dominates you?
I think it would have been a lot more nuclear if it was the other way and Roman went in and beat him for the belts.
Yeah. But just to
defend isn't as nuclear.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason I'm even entertaining Drew winning is because it's in the UK.
I need to hear the pop when he goes wherever they are.
Oh, it's gonna be nuts.
Acknowledge me and see if they pop for him still, because
they definitely will. The thing is, that's the thing though with like UK crowds, they pop for everything.
Yeah,
they're just like happy to have WWE there, which is awesome. It's so good to see. Like, there's some of the best crowds that
they
WWE
sold out
has.
instant.
Oh yeah. Anywhere overseas sells out right away. Like, there's definitely some of the best crowds, like, in WWE by far.
You saw that quote from Steph?
No.
She was like, name a movie. See, she was like, oh, some movies are over in certain countries. Some sports are over in certain countries. Name something that's over everywhere.
Yeah,
that's WWE.
That's literally it. Yeah. It's the only thing in the world.
Kind of right.
No, 100%.
Kind of right,
100%.
Steph. That's awesome.
I'm interested to see if they get a Mania ever.
That's a lot of risk.
It
right?
is a huge risk.
I know it will sell out, but the amount of foot traffic and merch sales and vacation money that states get and major cities get from WWE.
I just don't know if UK will bid enough for it. That will be the problem.
Right, because you're getting Jerry World selling out. Like, you're getting the SoFi now selling out. Like,
and what, 2 years is Philly?
Philly's going to be sold out instantly.
It's going to be cold.
Cold?
It's going to be early April.
Cold?
Might be a little cold.
I guess.
I mean, that could be like 50s.
Hey, Philly, yeah.
Yeah, Philly.
And it's going to be late.
Yeah, late at night in early April in Philly. That's not going to be a warm event.
The Eagles are not a dome.
No, absolutely not. They're not. No, what is it, Citibank? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not a dome.
Or is it City?
I think it's something like that, Liberty, whatever it is. But it's definitely not a dome. It's going to be chilly.
It's going to be chilly.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a thing for if Johnny comes back, but we'll get there when we get there. So I'll save it for next week.
When is the...
I believe it's Monday. Raw is Cleveland.
I guess you got to say it then.
Well, no. I have a feud for him when he gets back.
Oh, okay.
So we'll save it.
If he comes back.
If he comes back, I'll save it for next week. I have a whole thing planned out. But
I think he will come back.
I think so as well.
I think a lot of people
just when or in what capacity will depend, but I think he'll be back.
My final thoughts,
Closing
quick,
thoughts.
just happened to me right now. Just came to me. With all these people that will likely come back or want to come back or discussions of coming back, what does that mean for people in NXT?
Means you better show up.
Means you better show up.
You better show up and show out.
They're not pulling people up then.
Yeah. It means that there's a lot of spots that are closing fast.
For instance, if the Cross thing is true, that's former NXT champion Karrion Kross.
That's
former dominant
H's guy.
Yeah. He's coming in. He's going to work.
Yeah.
That's a spot that Braun Breaker could have had, that Carmelo Hayes could have had. And those are examples because they will still have spots. But that's a spot Cameron Grimes could have had. Santos could have had. Like
Solo Sikoa could have had. Different,
but yeah.
That's
Tony D could have had.
We keep saying different because we're assuming he's going with the bloodline. But in the case that he's not, that's a spot he could have had.
Yeah.
You better show up.
Just something to think
about. You better start showing up.
Just something to think about.
With Triple H in charge.
Yeah.
Legato up soon. Yes or no? Just yes or no. Within 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the way they are showcased on NXT now, there's nothing left for them at all.
There's really not.
So it's either you fire all of them, which I really hope you don't.
I don't think they definitely won't.
Or bring them up.
I think you bring them up.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, following along. Let's know what you guys think of SummerSlam.
Yep.
What do you rate it out of 10?
Any big spoilers you guys think are going to happen? Returns, anything like that?
Who do you guys think is coming back now with Paul in charge?
Not Paul Heyman.
Paul Levesque. Like, comment, subscribe down below. We are on Instagram and Twitter at @wrestle_pod, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your media, we're there. All right, guys.
All right, thanks for hanging out. Peace.